I know you guys are probably tired of hearing about all this stuff, same as I, but when you see stuff like this pop up all the time, you have to remember that there's no forgiveness for this stuff. They took 2 years from you. They tried to take so much more, and they're going to try again in the future. And if they don't get slapped down from the treatment that they gave you over the past few years, just wait for what they're going to try to do in the next few convening years. So they're still trying to push the narrative that, oh my gosh, there's a new strain that's going to be out there. It's going to be even worse than the last one. Here we go again. This is just, a headline because I don't need to read the article because does anybody care at this point in time? Like, oh my God, like I know it's the Gateway Pundit. Is that, I think that's the name of the outlet there. It just immediately came to mind, but that's obviously a headline from them. Here we go again. CDC says it's monitoring a new COVID variant known as XBB. I don't know what that is. Okay, big black excitement. Labeled that by somebody with dyslexia. Don't quite know for sure. Deemed most vaccine resistant strain ever. Very interesting, okay? Because I have a couple of ponderances on this, okay? And I even, came up with one beforehand. But the first one that immediately comes to mind, I guess this would be second comes to mind. I had my immediate reactions. We'll go through those in the second. But if you're just simply monitoring a strain, if you're just, paying attention to it, how do you know it's the most vaccine resistant strain ever? How do you know that if you're just merely gleaming in onto all this stuff? But pair that also with the messaging that, oh my gosh, you guys need to go out there and get your new, what are they trying to push? This bivalent booster? Don't even know what the naming means, but at the same time, just go out there and get it because we don't really know what the technology means. So you know what? Hey, man, just go for it. You should just do your part. Otherwise, if you don't, you're going to be killing grandma. But then, as I opined here in the beginning, okay, love the shift in messaging. Deadliest strain ever to most vaccine resistant strain ever. If you want proof that it was never about your health, here you go. Safe and effective, bro. Yeah, that guy's pretty smart. He should start a YouTube channel. But again, I'm leery when it comes to this stuff for a very good reason, mostly because my paranoia, or my skepticism, I should say, on this one, has been rewarded now that the truth is starting to come out. And we have the FDA here, you know, the experts, the science after, well, no, okay, NIAID is where, Fauci worked, or works, or currently is, I don't know, just held up and shredding documents and acid washing hard drives as we speak, I would imagine. FDA says telling people not to take ivermectin for the coof was just a recommendation, bro. Listen, it's not like we were telling you not to get it or anything like that. It's like, do you think that we all have short-term fucking memory loss? Like, we don't remember what you were saying about this stuff? It was horse paste. You're stupid if you take it. But now they're just trying to gaslight everybody, okay? They're just trying to shift verbiage that makes them look okay at the end of the day. Oh, there's plenty of vengeance to go around on this one, so don't worry, you guys. You can just wait your fucking turn. The US FDA's guidance for people to stop taking ivermectin for the coof was informal and just a recommendation. No, it's not like we as the experts were trying to force vaccine mandates or anything like that, okay? Nobody has to take what we say seriously. It's just a recommendation. They're more like guidelines as opposed to rules. Fuck off. Government lawyers argued during a recent hearing. The cited statement were not directives. They were not mandatory. They were recommendations. Yeah, you guys were trying to push all of this shit. You guys, the CDC, you were just moving it. Like, okay, it's like one of those corner games in New York City, okay? Like, where's the ball? Okay, they'll put the ball under the cup, and then at the end of the day, the fucking, guarding on the street corner has a fucking magnet in his hand, and so does the ball have a piece of metal in the middle of it. You're never going to find the fucking ball. It was a shell game. Just blame another organization. No, when we said you shouldn't take that, we were just listening to the experts. Well, what did the experts say? Oh, well, at the time, they were not recommending it. Oh, okay, cool. Why is that? Because it's cheap and effective, and we have stuff that's safe and effective. That's better. Cited statement, yes, were not directives. They said, for example, why you should not take ivermectin to treat the coof. They did not say you may not do it. Oh my God, just look at, this is like arguing with your indignant girlfriend, okay? Like, this shit is so fucking ridiculous. I didn't say you couldn't do it. I just said, this is what I want to do. You never listen to me. And then they're just going to try to shift the fucking verbiage. This is ridiculous. It did not say it's prohibited. It's unlawful. Why were you suing doctors who were prescribing it? I'm just wondering, like, just for like regular people, you weren't telling them not to, but for the people who have intimate knowledge of the medical history and the current situation for the patients, that shit is haram. Can you clear that up for me? I don't think you will, but it's a question that should be asked at some sort of a panel with, you know, a guy with a black hood over his head with a giant fucking axe or a sword. I'm just saying. They use informal language. Oh, that is true. It's conversational, but not mandatory. According to Isaac Belfer, one of the lawyers for the CDC, or I'm sorry, this is the FDA we're talking about. This is the same shit at the end of the day. Unelected bureaucrats telling you how to live your life, and then when somebody calls them out on it, we didn't say that. We didn't say that. Hearing was held on November 1st, by the way. Hearing in federal court in Texas. Oh, you fucking cunts. The hearing was held in a case brought by 3 doctors who say the FDA illegally interfered with their ability to prescribe medicine to their patients when it issued statements on ivermectin, an antiparasitic that has shown positive results in some trials against the coof. Yeah, we've taken a look at that, I think on the second channel. They tried to get rid of that multiple times, so I don't know, I'm kind of walking a fine line. We're really going raw in the fucking Yucatan on this one, my guys. Because on my second channel, where I'm all nice and chipper and I don't swear or anything like that, and you can look at the views and it's like the exact same content, except for I just, you know, don't drop any of the 7 dirty words. I keep it above board and nobody pays attention to that. Wow, imagine that if I just take my personality, turn it up to 11, it's a lot more popular. Fucking wow, who could have possibly seen that happen? But on the second channel, I just talk about a bunch of stuff that I like to, you know, discuss, and just, it kind of puts me in the frame of being, you know, a professional, a personal trainer and stuff. So, depending on the clients I was working with, you know, that would kind of dictate my verbiage, because you don't say, just fucking push it, you weak bitch, to some 65-year-old lady. It's like, that's not exactly the most appropriate. Well, I've had some clients who would have, you know, responded nicely to that, but no, off rip, that's not something that you would do. Just saying. The hearing was held in a case, brought by 3 doctors. Ivermectin is approved by the FDA. It's approved by the FDA, but not for the coof. Yeah, I know, it's just a recommendation though, bro. The drugs are commonly used for non-approved purposes in the United States. Practice is known as off-label treatment. Yeah, exactly. It's like taking aspirin, or I don't even know if they recommend doing this anymore. Chewing 2 baby aspirin in the case of a heart attack or heart attack prevention. That is technically off-brand use, because aspirin is normally used for headaches and to tamper inflammation, so that's just a go-to example. Many other examples of stuff that's out there. It's like, you know, swigging a bottle of NyQuil if you just want to have fun dreams. That's an off-label use. It's supposed to be for, you know, cold symptoms. Anyways, the FDA created a webpage in 2021 titled "Why You Should Not Use Ivermectin to Treat or Prevent the Coof." Huh, interesting. Just a recommendation though. And later posted a link on a Twitter page writing, "You are not a horse, you are not a cow. Seriously, y'all, stop it." You remember that one? Because I sure as fuck do. Their second post stated, "Hold your horses, y'all." It's like they're talking to a buck. It's like, do you think the people who were actually, you know, trying to help their current medical situation, did you think that they're all just fucking hillbillies? Like, is that the way that you just look at people down from your ivory tower as the sun blinds you so you don't have to stare upon the unwashed masses? That's how you plebs talk, y'all, and ain't. Fucking elitists. I want all of these institutions burned to the fucking ground. Anyways, ivermectin may be trending, but it isn't authorized or approved to treat the coof. Interesting. The whole trending thing, you post stuff that's on there. We'll get back to that very shortly. On a separate page, the FDA stated, should I take ivermectin to prevent or treat the coof? Your answer, no. Just recommendations, though. You can do whatever you like. And if you do, doctors end up getting sued and maybe or at least put at a significant risk of losing their medical license. Tomato, tomato. Jared Kelson, an attorney representing the plaintiffs, told the court during the hearing that the informal claim doesn't explain the language. They actually used stop it with the ivermectin. Yeah, exactly. That was the underlying tone, and that's the stance that they would have taken if they were vindicated in any form or fashion. But because there are starting to get some studies and there's some tangible results that are out there outside of just word of mouth and people using it to various levels of success, and it's like now you can quantify it, and then they're like, Nah, bro, it was just a joke. Fuck off. Plaintiffs in the case include Dr. Paul Marek, who began utilizing ivermectin in his COOF treatment protocol in 2020 when he was chief of pulmonary and critical care medicine at Eastern Virginia Medical School. Yeah, that guy sounds like a quack, right? And, and director of the intensive care unit at Sinatra, Norfolk General Hospital. Yeah, just some fringe ideologue that's out there, right? He's just experimenting on his patients. After the FDA statement, Merrick was told to remove the protocol from the school's servers while Sinatra issued a memorandum to hospitals telling them to stop using ivermectin against the COOF with a citation to the FDA. And all of this stuff was published on Twitter. Okay, that's why I used it to begin with, because now Twitter's a whole bunch of fun. But back in the day, back when all this stuff was going down, they were the Ministry of Truth, okay? They were the ones who were delegating and pointing the conversation in a certain direction. And if you questioned any sort of change, and it's like, why are you guys pushing specifically that stuff? Haram! And then you get kicked off of all of the platforms. I know, I got several medical misinformation strikes because, somehow, actually, you know what, if we're going to take the FDA at face value, they were just recommendations. Was I out here writing scripts for anybody? Like, I don't fucking think so, okay? I was purely looking at articles just like this, reacting to videos that were out there on the subject. I don't even know if that, played into it or anything like that, but apparently the word of me, a man in northern Alberta with a cheap web camera and a little bit more of an expensive mic, I could be confused as an authority on the subject? No, I could be confused with being an authority on multiple different subjects, but when it comes to your personal health decisions, I find that pretty fucking hard to believe. I can teach you how to lift and pick heavy shit up, multiple times in a row, but when it comes to how to best maintain a strong immune system catered directly to you, I haven't a fucking clue. I don't know who you are. I'm sure you're a great person, whoever's watching it at this point in time. I just, I don't know your situation, so I can't prescribe, I can't tell you to do or not do anything. But the FDA, they're supposed to be the experts on this type of stuff. It's Food and Drug Administration. The entire purpose of them being there is to know the uses and to know the certifications of the different drugs and foods and the practices that are employed by the different growers and pushers that are out there, and make adjustments or regulations where necessary. So normally you'd be doing the field research, okay? You'd be collecting the different stories, running the tests on them. That's where you would normally get your inspiration. That's where normally you would start to curate your policy from. But instead, we are run. This just cements it. We are run by absolute fucking children. FDA was excited by response to edgy ivermectin Twitter post that documents show. This is what we have right now, okay? If you ever start to think that, oh my god, it's a big conspiracy up at the top, it's them who are pulling all the strings, okay? It's like, bro, this is so fucking easy to understand and grasp. All of those human resources teams, okay, all of the public relations teams, they're all staffed by ideologues that come from ideologically driven universities. And why are those institutions like that? Well, it's pretty simple, okay? The people who are staffed at those locations have a certain predilection. All you need to do is just understand evolutionary psychology and behavioral psychology. It's pretty simple. Teachers have a certain predilection. They want to help people, okay? And who are most of the teachers now in school, it's like 80%, 70 or 80%. I'd have to get the numbers specifically correct, but it's in between those, it's between that standard deviation, okay? 70 to 80%, somewhere in that range. That's the percentage of females that are teachers, okay? And females primarily have a certain predilection towards people when it comes to careers and jobs and interests in general, as opposed to men have a more natural predilection towards things. And that's why you've seen in Elon Musk's takeover of Twitter, the before and after picture, all of the different human resources, human rights team at Twitter. Like, the fuck are you guys doing over there? Apparently nothing, because your job was superfluous and you were just shown the fucking door, so get the fuck out. And then afterwards, all of the coders that are there, that are working, that are energized by the situation, all fucking dudes. There was one girl in the back, and that's about it. And yeah, no, her presence there doesn't disprove the rule. Dudes like things, women like people. so to speak, back on the university and the college system, and even to just drag in the entire structured school system at this point in time. Their natural enjoyment of things and curating young minds that's out there, that's laudable, but also that comes with a whole identitarian, communitarian type organizational structure that they're naturally precluded to teach through. My mistake, sorry. And that involves not wanting to offend anybody, not wanting to rock the boat, maintain the status quo, as it were. And if your conflicts need to happen, well, do I need to lay it out? Okay. How do women fight as opposed to men fight? Okay. One has a lot more words, the other has a lot more fists. I'll leave it at that. And that's why the universities continue to crank out these type of people, because they're taught by those type of people. That's the way that they teach. All for one, one for all. And that overarching principle leans a lot more towards a communistic, socialistic approach, because it's just all for the good of the people, not for the individual, not to change any of the thought process. There is safety and security in the government. Trust the experts. So once they get pumped out from the, the humanities, the social sciences that are out there, they take their 4-year, 6-year degree. They get a job working for the government, nice, safe government. They aren't going to be losing their job there at all whatsoever. Up onto these easy plantations where they can just type away with edgy posts, just leering down at the uneducated, unwashed masses. And that's why you end up with these types of posts from every angle of the government. Look at what the White House does. They blatantly lie, and then they got fact-checked by Twitter, and then they deleted their posts. It's like, oh, fuck, you can't get away with this shit. You don't control everything now, and that's why they're spurging out so fucking hard, because they run all of their policy through one single unified front. But now that some people are pushing back, and they're having to elucidate their untenable positions, they're finding it a little bit difficult, and the mask is definitely starting to slip at this point. Snip? I don't even know what that means. Top U.S. Food and Drug Administration officials were excited by the response to the agency's controversial Ivermectin Twitter post. Internal emails show the August 21st, 2021 post is now the center of a court case, the one that we were previously talking about, and the one that we'll see once again. The post, "You are not a horse, you are not a cow. Seriously, y'all, stop it," is linked to the FDA page. It says people should not use ivermectin to prevent or treat the coof. The post was created by Brad Kimberly, some feminized bitch. Oh, you got a girl's last name. An FDA official, after Mississippi officials reported an increase in calls. Oh, see, it's just those stupid people down by the river. An increase in calls from people who had taken ivermectin to prevent or treat the coof, including some who took the versions of ivermectin developed for animals. Nah, dude, it's just all horse paste, bro. Trust us, believe us, y'all. Ivermectin is an anti-parasitic that is used in both humans and in animals. Yeah, because the guy who invented it got a Nobel Prize for its ability to treat parasitic infections and a couple of other things inside of the human body. And then it was changed. I think there's a carbon branch somewhere in the molecule that gets altered, and then it becomes an animal-specific usage, but to each their own, right? Remember those people that died because they took fishbowl cleaner? Oh my god, that's basically what was happening with the horse paste, bro. Kimberly saw a slew of other officials were thrilled when the post went viral, according to the emails. This is what they care about. Not actually putting out good information that's out there. It's how many likes, retweets, and are we trending? This is politics in 2022 in the Biden administration. Don't care about the information. Don't care if it's correct or true or honest. Just how well is it performing on social media? Fucking people make me sick. Post was the most popular post we've ever had on Twitter. Oh my god, Erica Jefferson, there's the bitch, an associate commissioner for external affairs, wrote in one message. Why is there an associate commissioner of external affairs? There should be one fucking intern running a social media account. That's it. Part-time even. Fuck off. Jefferson was writing to Dr. Janet Woodcock. Of course she was. An FDA official who was acting commissioner at the time. That was great. Even I saw it, Woodcock said, and she agreed with the new strategy of being creative and accessible and calling the missive an excellent start. And then they continue to just go on and denigrate the public for making informed or having their doctors make informed decisions for them. God forbid, you can't be having that. You need to look to the government, and the government will solve all of your fucking problems. God, I hate these people. And I know Fauci will get the press when he gets drug in front of a commission, but I want every single one of these motherfuckers to be put there in front of a panel for the entire world to see, because regardless of whatever fucking country you find yourself in, where America went, the rest of the world followed and curated their processes and their policies appropriately to mimic that of the United States. So where these degenerates were far more concerned with going viral on Twitter, there were people's lives who could have potentially been saved. That's alright, I got how many thousands of likes? Go fuck yourselves. Fuck all of you. But remember, pandemic amnesty, bro. We're not supposed to be mad at them. But anyways, with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.